An elderly couple have spoken about their respite care nightmare since Cheshire East axed the service at Lincoln House in Crewe. 73-year-old Joyce Yoxall has been the main carer for husband David, 74, since he was left paralyzed and needed brain surgery following a stroke 4 years ago. Devoted wife Joyce told how the couple have finally found a suitable home they are really happy with following an upset at a previous home, and now Cheshire East has stopped them using it. A weary Joyce said there had been a couple of issues at the first home David had gone into after the council closed Lincoln House, so now, wherever he goes, I'm extra cautious. Joyce looks after David around the clock, with the occasional break when he goes for daycare, which the couple mainly pay for themselves, and the 56 nights a year respite funded by Cheshire East. She said after the upset at the first home the search for another suitable care home began. We looked and decided on Bentley Manor on Sherborne Street, said Joyce. It's lovely. They've looked after David extremely well for 2 years. I can't praise them highly enough. But Joyce had a shock when she recently tried to book David in for a week, as part of her 56-night allocation. We were informed we can no longer use Bentley Manor, the council are dropping it, she said. Bentley Manor have done a wonderful job, but now Cheshire East has stopped that for us, just like they stopped the excellent service at Lincoln House, so we're back to square one. The couple were offered alternative respite care in Wilmslow, Altrincham and Holmes Chapel. Joyce said, I refused to let him go there, it's too far. I can't drive all that way to see him every day. He'd be out on a limb with no visitors. They have now taken up the offer of respite at Corbrook Court at Odlum. Joyce said, I've got 12 nights in July and 14 nights in September, nothing else at all. She told how she had tried to book more for November but hadn't been able to. So I don't even know if I'll get any more of the 56 nights we've been allocated, she said. On top of that, it's the worry. David's never been there before and he was settled and happy at Bentley Manor, like he was at Lincoln House, now it's all change again. There's the extra worry for me and a new place to get used to for him. CLLR Janet Clowes, cabinet member for adult social care, said, both myself and senior council officers have met several times with Mrs. Yoxall over recent weeks, to discuss Mrs. Yoxall's concerns and to provide reassurance. Mrs. Yoxall has been offered a number of alternative respite provisions. Unfortunately, the block booking of respite beds at Bentley Manor by the council was greatly underoccupied, leaving empty beds that were not delivering value for money for council taxpayers and which was unsustainable. Following a review, the council is currently recommissioning care or respite support services in order to not only deliver best value and greater flexibility but also facilitate the provision of the right support in the right place at the right time. Consultation is ongoing with a view to a decision in the autumn on new care or respite services provision. Successfully commissioned providers will accept bookings from the 15th of October 2018 for care starting from the 1st of December 2018. Outgoing providers will offer services until the end of November, ensuring there is no break in residential care or respite services. We will continue to liaise with the family during the recommissioning period. How can Cheshire East do this to us again? Crewe pensioner Joyce Yoxall is physically tired and emotionally drained. Caring for husband David, who is paralyzed and also suffers regular seizures, is taking its toll. On top of that, she now has the additive pressure of knowing the next time she gets a break David will, once again, be going off to a different care home, a home where everything is new to him, instead of the familiar Bentley Manor where he has been so happy. I don't know how I'm carrying on. It's not only the physical situation, it's the mental situation, Joyce said. Every day I'm on the phone to someone, somewhere, pleading for help. I'm banging my head on a brick wall, getting nowhere. In February I wrote an official complaint to the council. I get tired, stressed and strained. It was bad enough when Lincoln House Respite closed, that building's standing there not being fully used. I believe there's 4 beds being used in there for people with learning difficulties. It's absolutely appalling. Cheshire East should be ashamed of themselves. They really should. We're going through exactly the same thing now. They've told us we can't use Bentley Manor as we were when they closed Lincoln House. Joyce and David Yoxall were in the same position 3 years ago when the council axed respite care at Lincoln House in Crewe. Image, UGC. As Joyce talks about the unbearable pressure heaped on her yet again, her voice starts to break a little. But she steels herself, saying she is no longer the timid person who broke down and cried last time we spoke, when Lincoln House closed. I'm angry now, she said. How can Cheshire East do this to us again? We pay for adult social care in our council tax. I've rung them and asked why we are paying that money and yet they're cutting back on adult social care. It makes you very bitter, very angry. I'm a changed person. I get angry because I feel we've had a really rotten deal. She added, I don't think it can get much worse because, if I can't get respite care regularly for David, he is going to have to go into permanent care because I'm not going to be able to manage. I don't know how much longer I can manage now at 73 years of age. We're just forgotten basically. It's all about money for Cheshire East, but what they don't realize is I am saving them thousands of pounds by looking after David at home because I'm an unpaid carer. David is also upset at the strain his wife is under. He doesn't want to have to get used to a new respite care home when he was so happy at Bentley Manor, but knows he has no choice. It is unsettling going to a new place, but I take it to help Joyce, he said. She'd be a nervous wreck if she didn't have these breaks. Crewe Care tells MPs at Westminster how she is suffering because of crisis and care situation. Joyce Yoxall says she has been so let down by the care system that, at the age of 73, she is fighting back. Last month, after being visited by Crewe and Nantwich MP Laura Smith, Joyce travelled to London to speak to a packed audience of MPs about the crisis in today's care system. Among those MPs was the Conservative Minister for Health and Social Care, who heard how the Crewe pensioner was so mentally and physically exhausted that she dare not even think of the year ahead. The MPs gave me a standing ovation when I made my speech. It was very hard to do emotionally, but MPs came over and spoke to me afterwards, she said. The Yoxalls have had such a rotten deal. Their plight has been featured in the Age UK campaign, Image, UGC, and a film crew turned up to tell their story. I don't want anybody else to go through what we've been through. It's appalling and we have been treated badly, said Joyce. I'd love to know if other people across Cheshire East are having the same problems. We can't be the only people being treated like this. People need to stand up and speak up. I wish and I hope more people will do, because the care situation is in chaos. It's in crisis altogether. Joyce would like to hear from other people who find themselves in a similar situation. If you would like to contact Joyce to discuss your experience, please email belinda.ryan@trinitymirror.com and the Chronicle will pass your details on.